So, this. Da, da, da. Okay, so we're going to go through two forms, and they're just pre-screening forms. So this is just to kind of, before we can do any physical activity, we just need to go through a pre-screening, and it's just to kind of see if you need to do any further testing, if you have to go to a doctor or anything to make sure you can actually do some physical activity. So the first form is called a PAR-Q form. So you just go through the questions, answer yes or no. And if you answer no to all of them, then you can just sign and you're good to go. If you answer yes to any of them, then there's a few other pages of questions just to kind of get a little bit more information from you and just get a little more detailed. And then I can kind of know what I'm working with. And same thing with your doctor. So if you have any yeses and if there's any issues, then I'll give you a medical form and you're going to take that to your doctor who signs it. And it just says like, this is what you can and can't do, what your limitations are, and if you should be doing activity. So you just fill out that form.
Okay.
And then the other form is called a consent form. So this form has to be completed just before we can do any activity, and it's not a waiver form, so it doesn't take, you're not waiving over any of your responsibilities when you do the assessments. I'm still responsible for that as long as I'm, being responsible and making sure that I'm not hurting you in any way. So it's just kind of going through it. If you have any questions or concerns, you can talk to me about it. I'll just briefly go through it with you. So I understand, where are we starting here? So I'm going to ask you some questions about physical activity, some of your sedentary behavior, your lifestyle factors, smoking and nutrition, and then that helps me build a program for you based off of that information. I'm going to do some heart rate reading, blood pressure, your weight, height, and waist circumference. We're going to do some sub-maximal aerobic testing, so see where your cardiorespiratory system is sitting, and then do some musculoskeletal fitness tests as well too, so that I can see where you're sitting with that. Yeah, so we'll go through all of that stuff, and then I'll get you to sign the back of it. And then with this, you're going to get a witness to sign it. It can't be me, so if you have your mom or someone around, and then they can sign this for you. And then again, if you have any questions and concerns, we'll go through the form.
Okay.
So I'll let you feel all that stuff up. Are you nervous? Okay, so we're going to do heart rate and blood pressure. So my client just told me that she's a little bit nervous, so let's get her to sit still a little bit. So there's two ways that we can do this test. She has a heart rate monitor watch on, so we can do it in that way. Or we can do the palpation on the radial and the carotid pulse as well. I can't say the word properly. And then for the resting blood pressure, I don't have a blood pressure monitor to actually do the test, so I have to skip that one. But basically it's just putting the arm cuff and making sure that we have a proper size with that, and then checking the systolic blood pressure and the diastolic blood pressure. So if the diastolic is higher than 144, or if the systolic is higher than 94, then we stop the test and just kind of let her relax a little bit, how she is doing now, and see if we can get those readings to go down. And if not, then we wouldn't keep doing any assessments or tests, and maybe ask her to go check with her doctor. So with the heart rate, we want the heart rate to be less than 99 beats per minute. Because you're a little bit nervous, you might be a little bit higher. So if you push this button on the watch right here and just hold that, that should give you a heart rate reading. Maybe not. Okay, so sometimes with this watch, you gotta kind of turn it. Oh, sorry, hopefully I don't hurt you. You gotta kind of turn it to the inside and do it that way. I'll just get you to relax. Okay, so that's not working, so we'll do the old-fashioned way. So we'll set up a timer. Feeling less nervous? No?
I'm feeling less nervous.
Are you? Okay. Good. Let's see if we can get this to a stopwatch. Okay. Okay, so when we're doing the heart rate, we want to do a count of 15 seconds and just count how many beats are within that 15 seconds, and then we will times it by 4. So ready, start. Perfect. So 14. So, I don't have my phone on me. So we go 14 times 4, and that would be your heart rate. Do you have your phone on you? I don't have my